want to thank IADWP for having me. I'm very happy to be here and happy to meet so many of you. My name is Nicole BONO and I am the founder of BONO Events International. And my topic is why every destination wedding planner needs a travel advisor. I'm going to go into it. So this was me in 2018. And I thought the best way to describe to you why this topic is so close to my heart is to share my story. So when I was an assistant to a destination wedding planner in Italy, we were asked by the groom about a week before the wedding to plan helicopters from Naples to Ravello, which was where they all had to land in Villa Cimbrone. And at the time, my boss thought it would be a great idea to give me this task. I had been at this job for 1 week, and the overachiever in me was like, sure, I got this. Definitely didn't have it at all. And got to Naples, everything was really quite disorganized. The helicopter company was a little bit out of place. Some things happened at Naples airport. The client was unhappy, and you know, I think you learn from your mistakes. At least I always try to. So I said to myself, okay, what went wrong with this helicopter booking? And my boss at the time, she was a wedding planner. She had no travel affiliates. So when she gave me this task, it was as if she were to do it. Just go on Google, find a helicopter company, figure it out, book it. Sure. But the helicopter assistance was quite poor. And there was absolutely no commission involved. I didn't even know to ask for commission. I mean, it was just all out of whack. And this all got me thinking, you know, why don't destination wedding planners partner with travel companies? So fast forward to 2019 when I started my own company, and my company was born strictly as a wedding planning company. We did not have a travel agency at all. And again, I found myself with a lot of pain points. I had 2 weddings my first year in 2019 before COVID. One was in Crete and one was in Florence. And I mean, people, I didn't know where they were staying, transfers, I didn't know where they were coming from. There were delays from the airport, and I was on the phone with airlines trying to help. And it was just all really messy. And I mean, I started my company when I was 27 years old, so I really didn't know what I was doing, but I knew that I really, really needed to figure this out. So during the pandemic, I decided that I wanted to become a one-stop shop for my clients, and I really wasn't sure how to do that. But I had all this extra time, so I started to think to myself, well, what do I really want to be able to offer my clients? And that was travel pre and post, so for all of the guests. I'm talking the family, friends, anybody who wanted that assistance, I wanted to be able to offer that to them. The destination wedding, of course, and also honeymoon design for the couple. I had so many of my clients who were like, oh, can you help us with the honeymoon? And I was sending them Google Docs of all my recommendations for hotels and restaurants, and had no idea that that could be extra income for me. So what were my options as a wedding planner to fulfill this business goal of mine? So one was to become a full-on service planning company myself. One was to partner with a DMC, a destination management company, and if there's anyone who doesn't know what that is, it's like an on-site travel agency specific to the country, or to work with a travel advisor. And this was all really new territory to me. I just had to start learning and reading and understanding what was a travel advisor, why is that different than a travel agent. What I did was option 1, and I got there kind of because I went to a travel advisor in Boston. Her name's Kristen Chambers. She's the owner of Travel Luster, and I went there actually looking for a partnership. I wanted to completely just hand off all the travel to someone, but still have some sort of partnership and know that I'm working with one point person. But she said, well, I have a training program, and if you'd like, you can come train and become a travel advisor yourself. So I said, sure, why not? It was during the pandemic. I had absolutely nothing to do. Everything was canceled. So I then became a travel advisor. And it was completely new territory. Also, becoming a travel advisor in a pandemic was quite an experience, but I learned so much. And part of the major benefit of working with Travel Luster, which is the equivalent to like what some people call a host agency, is that they're part of the Virtuoso network. And I have found the Virtuoso network to be incredibly, incredibly important to my growth of my company. So how has our business changed? Well, it's changed just to an incredible, incredible extent. I mean, I find that now my clients are able to come to me for absolutely everything that is involved with their wedding. From the second they decide to get married and it's a destination, from finding the venue to working on how am I gonna get my parents there, my grandparents there, my aunt and uncle there, and my friends there. And a lot of couples, especially with COVID, right, they were super concerned about doing a destination wedding because of the difficulties of travel. So I really find that it was a time that being able to become this one-stop shop for the client was even more important. Also, I have found that with a travel agency, with the credibility of Virtuoso or whatever network that you're in, commissions can get higher. Sometimes I was offered 5 to 8% on a room block as a wedding planner, and then as a travel advisor, I was offered 15 to 20. That makes a huge difference. It's the same amount of work, and you're giving yourself a raise. The honeymoon is something that I really now enjoy planning. I love being able to work with the couples and bring them on their trip after, and I've been able to maintain some of my couples from last year as now longevity travel clients. They're repeat clients. So I just want to explain kind of just looking at what a typical 4-day destination wedding looks like, just how much my business, and I guess you could even say my revenue, has changed. So the day 1 is the arrival day, the day 2 is rehearsal dinner, day 3 is destination wedding, and day 4 is a farewell brunch, typically. Of course, everyone does their own thing. Now, this is where I now am able to make additional commission and also additional organization, and having all of these services to offer to my clients. Maybe it's because I'm just a crazy control freak, but it really helps me know where all of them are, and it's just smoother. It's just more organized. And I find that the clients, even though they all come to me with everything involved in the planning, I'd rather it be that way, and then I know all the partners involved that I work with, because obviously what's happening with me backstage is I involve a ton of partners, a ton of DMCs, whoever it may be. But you know, between coordinating the flights and transfers, activities, tours, experiences, I have a wedding this year that takes place in 3 different regions of Italy. I don't think I could have ever pulled that off had I not been a travel company or had worked with a travel company, because travel was such a huge part of it. I think travel is undeniably a huge part of the organization of a destination wedding, so why not get organized? So I wrote, it is a lot more work, it's a lot more money, but it's a lot more work. I'm in the thick of it right now, and I'm managing 300 people, because that's the total number of my guests for all my weddings. It is a lot more work, and this is why I don't think my advice is for all of you to change your business models. I just wanted to share with you what I did with mine, and just some suggestions of what you could do with yours if you wanted to. So I wanted to take us back here. If you are not willing to also become a travel agency, advisory company, whatever you want to call it, and you want to stick to your weddings, but you want to find someone who can help you with the travel elements, plenty of options out there. There's a lot of wedding planners that work with DMCs based on the territory that they're working with. But there's also some wedding planners or event planners who have a handy travel advisor, which I think is awesome. It's a great partnership to form. I mean, why not work with a single person that you work well with and trust them to handle everything for you? This way you have a true-on partnership and collaboration. How you and that person decide to divide your splits and your commissions, that is a conversation for you to have with them. But I say, why not? It's kind of nice to have that one person who can help you internationally. So how can you find a DMC or travel advisor? Now, this is just one of the many ways, but Virtuoso is the network I'm a part of. So virtuoso.com has plenty of travel advisors and on-site agencies right at your fingertips. You can usually find a contact email on their website, and I mean, approach a travel advisor. Ask them if this is something they'd be interested in. Do they do groups? Do they do events? Lots of travel advisors support event planners. Some don't, but I think if you find one that works well with you, it could really be a match made in heaven. Also, DMCs are really very handy. If there's a country that you work in particularly often, DMCs are really excellent. There's many in the Virtuoso network that are highly recommended, but I work with a DMC in Italy, for example, because Italy is a country I do a lot of work in, and I would be lost without them. They also have 24/7 assistance for my clients at all times. They have English-speaking staff. They resolve issues for me. If I'm hanging flowers on an arch with the florist, I'm not calling the airline anymore. I have assistance and I have support, and that's the point of all this. So it's good to have support, have a team that can help you, because we all need a little help sometimes. So what do our clients have to say about it? So I brought up my couple from last year. They got married in Santorini, Derek and Emily, and they were really my first try at this. They were the first wedding I had last year, post-pandemic, and I had taken care of all their travel before, their entire wedding, and then their honeymoon in Crete. And it went really well. It went really, really well. I was their main point person. Even when things maybe went wrong backstage, at least I was aware of all of it. And they've become repeat clients. I sent them on 2 trips already this year, and they have a 3rd one booked for later this summer. So it's also a way to not have to say goodbye and let go of your couples. You can keep them on and keep working with them on a travel-only basis, which is something we do now as well. So that's it. But I wanted to ask if there were any questions or not. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.